Oh, let me taste your tears. Your tears are so yummy and sweet.
What are you doing here?
All right, everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Logan JYA with the man, the myth, the legend, my friend Dande. This man has been on the scene for a very long time, but has just topped his first YCS. This is the first YCS he's ever been to, and the first YCS he tops because he's so flippin' good. First and foremost, Dande, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm very good. Very good. I feel very well for topping the first event I ever entered. It was a really good experience. It was honestly so awesome, dude. Like, even waking up is very early without coffee, without anything. It's so good. It was so good.
Good, man. Dude, I'm so happy for you, man. This is a culmination of your work and effort over the past few years, just building your mastery in this game. When I first met you, I remember back in 2020, 2021, around that time frame, you were already a phenomenal player. And now, your first real attempt going into the big leagues, you come out in the top 32. It is truly remarkable, but it is far from a surprise. Before we get into your profile, my friend, I want to ask you, is there anyone you'd like to shout out?
Biggest shout out is Brahim. We play tested together. He taught me everything I know about the deck is came from him. It's his list with like a few changes. I mean, we worked on it's his list, and then we worked on it a little bit together on it. I cannot thank him enough, and it's half my top and half his top, honestly. And then second shout out would be YuGiOh. He helped me a lot with playtesting. We voice chatted with Brahim and YuGiOh. We played the YCS matchup. We played Infernal matchup. We played different decks. They helped me a lot with technical play, because even though I think I'm a very good technical player, this deck was hard for me because
it's tough.
It doesn't have one straight line, or it doesn't have multiple straight lines that you can actually see from before and decide which one you want to go for. It's like on the moment. It depends on what you mill, it depends on what you draw, it depends on what they have.
It's true. They are the most legendary coaches in the universe. Let's take a look at that list, my friend. Let's start things off with the main deck.
Okay, I played Tier. I played the Swamp version. I didn't play the Orange version. I think this one had more grind than the Orange version, and it could play on your opponent's turn better.
Right.
And it could create game sets that are very winning for me, where the Orange version could not really. That's why I chose this. Yeah, I played one of the names because they break.
Right.
And I played 3 Rhino.
Yep.
Obviously, 3 Tier Cars was
Beautiful.
insane. The Orange package, I mean, not much
All
to
of them.
say.
Yep.
It's probably banned, you know.
I think so as well. Do you think they're going to hit just the Millers or everything?
I think the Millers, and
Yeah.
not the Millers. I don't think the Supplers, but I think the Millers. The Millers is like Brahim said, you could be losing, but if you hit a Miller, you can turn the game around, which is unfair. King of the Swamps was insane.
yeah.
The Chimera plays are insane. The card is really good.
Mhm.
I was always saying that when the list dropped and we could play Tier, I thought that King of the Swamp is not the correct version, honestly, and I was like, I think maybe the Orange version or the combo version is better than this, but playing it, tasting it more and more, it changed my mind. So I would play this over the other ones.
I feel the same way, my friend, and Brahim is the one who Brahim and YuGiOh both are the ones who convinced me of that fact, and I've always felt that that is the way to go, and I'm glad to see that you're in agreement. This is good. This gives rationalization to the King of the Swamp build.
The difference when playing Swamp and playing combo, this is like one of the first things we said with Brahim, is that if I'm a Swamp and my opponent is playing either Horus or the combo version, going using the mill 5s, using this too, is totally fine on the mirror. Even though in the mirror it's scary to actually go for this, especially now. Before it was fine. Before you could create game states that they were fine. They were actually correct to mill 5. Right now they are scary because the mirror match is a little bit scary.
Right.
But if you play Swamp, you can always mill with this because your mills are way better than their mills.
Correct.
In other turn, it doesn't matter. And you have like 5 fusions you can make, and they only have Kaleido. Realistically, only Kaleido on their first turn. That's it.
Right. Kaleido is the only one that would theoretically do anything.
Yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough. And if you can mill, if you like confidently mill the mirror, is insane. It's a little bit weird. And in the YCS I milled double mirror. I played 2 mirror. I milled both of them in one. I mean, we will talk about the rounds, the Swiss later. So I will talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really good. This was really good. I would never change it anymore. It's
My
really
man.
good. Double Fenrir.
Yep.
It's an engine card. It's a going second card if you want it. If you want it to be, it helps play around Shifter. The other versions cannot play around Shifter. In this version you can, because you can summon Fenrir in a stall, and you will see on the side why Fenrir actually helps a lot and how it works in certain matchups. So yeah,
Gotcha.
Fenrir is really good. Like, not much to say about it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
The One Beast, the only dark, it's really good. If you mill it, if you draw it sucks. But
And we're not playing No Window, are we?
no.
Yeah, the one of. I love it. All right, let's keep going.
3 Palerino, 1
Yep.
Castilla Field Spell. This is for this is basically the 3rd copy of Fenrir, and Terraforming is the 4th.
Yep.
There are times where you prefer to go for this over this. Reason being that your opponent is probably playing a shifter deck, or
Right.
you have too many. Maybe you have names in hand. Maybe so you want to get more interruptions. Like, it depends on the hand. It depends on what your opponent is playing. But this is really good.
How many times did you get shifted to the main event?
I'm once, because every deck I played. I played only meta except one round. In the one round that I didn't play meta deck, he shifted me, but it didn't matter. I went poly for this, grabbed Fenrir, and I had super poly, and it was fine.
There we go. Perfect.
I mean, there's not much to say.
Triple Scream. Love it.
If you play less, there's something wrong. Unless you play yours. But yeah. This was debatable. Deck is 41 cards. This is the 41th card. He changed it a few days before the event.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that Yokman was saying playing this. Brahim said don't play this. I was debating if I was more in between.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it's good in every matchup. If you play
Right.
Mirror, it's, I guess, fine. If you play Rescue, it's good. If you play Chimera, is good. If you play Lambert, is good. Every matchup you play is good. It only sucks against Infernoble, mostly. Which is like a really bad matchup for me either way.
Right.
It makes the deck 41 because you cannot cut anything else. You have to cut the utility. You have to cut like the flex spots, which is not it's not the greatest thing to do.
No. This
So-
deck is very, very tight and streamlined.
Yeah, and one of the common issues you might find if you try to play this deck for how long it will be available to you.
Not much longer.
Yeah, it's that there are lines sometimes where you have a Silicon in hand, and you will discard you will hit Rhino of the millers, and you will discard the Sulik because it's the only thing that pluses you, and it's the only thing that doesn't ruin your hand. So if you discard Sulik and you end with not Sulik, maybe it's not that scary because like Brahim said, there's no ruler in the format, but it helps when you play around book. And if you play around Book of Moon, if you play around eclipses, if you play around certain stuff, it's really good. And I mean, Sulik is a good card. It's also full up with all cards, and I didn't like that in some hands, because I milled suboptimal, I had to discard the Sulik and not get it back. Because there were times where I discarded Sulik, I went to mill 2 with Tier Cast, and I milled the second Sulik, and there is literally no way to get the other Sulik back, which is really bad. That's why we played this.
That's
And
understandable.
sometimes it helps. It helps a lot. The one of is terraforming, foolish burial, and foolish burial goods. I mean, there's not much to say about this. You play 3v karma, that's why you play goods. I
Right.
think. The poly for King of the Swamps. And,
Absolutely.
usually one meta noise. You cannot cut this. You cannot play less than this. It's mandatory to be like this. The best card in deck to draw.
Haha, yep, he always finds a way.
Yeah, and I think I drew it like 4 rounds. It's crazy.
Wow. He always finds a way. Always, always, always.
Yeah, and the flex spots are this. So you have to understand which matchups are bad for you and which matchups are good for you. So one very bad matchup for this deck is Inferno, actually, and a more like kind of 50-50 matchup is Rescues, which Rescues we thought it's gonna be really popular. And we also thought that there will be a lot of rogue decks, like Flandreese and stuff like that. So we thought that maybe there are times where we can imperm the Rescues board and we can prevent him from resolving Turbulence. And there are times where it's better if you, in the mirror, if you imperm the vampire that doesn't play the talent, because before the event there were happening a few regionals where there is a version of tier which is really scary. They played Horus cards with 3 talent and 3 super poly. And you cannot really nip that. You cannot really nip the Rescues player if he full combos you. And this is better going second, and it's better going against an Unchained matchup. So that's why and it's also better against an Infernoble deck. Maybe sometimes it does nothing, obviously, but there are times at least that maybe you can have an opportunity to stop them or stop a certain card from coming out. Maybe it helps. After the event, I mean, it's debatable, but Bestials proved to be better than this.
Wow.
Because during the event, I didn't see a lot of Rescues players. I didn't see a lot of Infernoble players. Bestials were really good every time I sided them in. So, I don't know, maybe you would play different pairings, maybe you would play against different decks, so it would have been different. So, I don't know.
Gotcha. Well, let's check out the extra deck real quick.
Yep. Extra deck is basically Super Poly targets, this, and this is the Spice one for Rescues. And I mean,
Oh, really?
and Inferno.
Well, both,
Yeah.
right?
So this is Brahim's idea. Brahim said we should play this. The Rescues matchup, because if they go for, basically it can go 3 ways. They can go either for the Cybers line, they can go for the Isolde line, or they can end on Turbulence and Spare. Against 2 of the variations, it's good. It only sucks against if you play against the Cybers version. If they go for the Santoli list, every other version it completely wins. If you play against the Isolde version, it's even better because like they could summon Isolde. Usually Rescues players wait; they don't actually activate their cards instantly. So you would go Super Poly, the SP and Baron instantly, and then if they don't do anything here, if you go Scream, they don't do anything, and you don't summon Rhino. This is a problem now because Rhino resolves, it doesn't get contained, it doesn't get extinguished, and you mill 3. So it forces them to play. And if they go like emergency summon and you go battle phase, this can attack 2 times. And this plays really well around the traps because of the effect that if you target this, it negates the card and it pops 1. If they go extinguish on this, you can negate, and they have to go contain. If they go book it or anything like that, you have Chimera. You can fuse it for Chimera face down.
Right.
Which was really good. And Rolk, Kaleido, Grapha,
Of course.
and Chimera. This is the last one.
Gotcha. I'm curious to see what you did to make room for that big Gearfried guy. But let's keep going. I think I know, but let's find out.
Bahamut.
Yep.
Riddler.
Yep. No main dweller. Okay, that's one.
Yeah, the Dweller is the change. And then Blocker, Mandatory, print, mandatory, dark, mandatory, SP.
Little Knight. Yep. Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense. Dweller was the card that was cut for the Gear Freed. Understandable. But, okay,
Yeah.
looks all looks good to me. I'm very curious to see the side deck, though, because I know this is something that'll always change. Even though Brahim, Yolkman, and, you know, you and I, we all play a very similar build of tier, I got to check out this side deck. Let's see it.
Yeah, side deck is Dress Blossoms.
Okay.
Great in everything, great in every matchup. Most sided in card during the event. Nib, really good. It was really good for me. I nibbed my opponent in top 64. He went how you say it? He went Hydrant, Grabber Lifter, Summoner Lifter. He basically what he did is he summoned IP and he had Hydra Turbulence and nipped him. He sets one pass, which is crazy. Three Bestials. They
Yep.
were crazy during the event. I played against four Labyrinth or no, three Labyrinth. Three Labyrinth players.
Really? So, a lot of Labyrinth, and you said 2 mirror matches as well?
Yeah.
Wow. That was good. Good thing you played those. Yes.
Yeah, they were really good. They were really good in the mirror and against Labyrinth. Cut shot for
Time.
Sometimes you have Merely in grave. You send this. It's full combo by itself, and then Dweller for the mirror or for Unchained, and the last 4 cards is basically the trap cards, the Crime and the Caboose.
Yep, you got to do the Tikaboos. This floodgate is insane right now. You're going first against Infernoble. You get the free auto win. There's a lot of other matchups it's pretty decent against, too.
It's really good. It's really good because Tikaboo, it works really well with the Fenrir. Every matchup that shifted you, it loses to this.
Oh, that's right.
Except one. That's the only deck. But every other matchup that can shifter you, it loses to this. If you play Unchained and they go shifter, it loses to this. If they play Flounder and they shifter you, it loses to this. So every time, if you play against the shifter matchup, you go Fenrir. Highest priority. You grab Fenrir, you grab Tirkas. And if you have this, it doesn't matter if they shifter you or not, because you will skip their turn, basically.
Right. Excellent. Well, I think that this build is, honestly, it is the highest performing version. I don't know. I know Brahim and Yolkman win a lot of online tournaments as well. But this is definitely the highest ranking that I'm aware of that one of their lists has taken it up to. And, you know, it's a group effort, right? You know, you guys all worked together on it, and you did such a phenomenal job. Let's hear a little bit about the matchups. Again, we don't have to go round by round, but if you remember roughly about how many decks of what kind you played against, I'd love to hear about it.
So round 1 I play against Chimera branded player. Round 1 was really rough because I didn't know where to get coffee from, for example, which was really bad for me.
Oh, I feel you.
So in the first round, in the Chimera round, which I was really sleepy, I did one mistake where my hand, it was for sure these 4 cards. So I lose RPS, he goes first, and he doesn't do the standard Chimera board. What he does is he makes the fusion that you can banish a poly and pop. It was really weird because he didn't end on like he's supposed to do board. And I went like stupid me, I activated Field Spell first while having 2 in the hand.
Oh,
And he
I mean,
popped.
he nuked that crap.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, and I normal Samurano with Scream, I hit nothing. On his turn, he attacked Marino, he didn't try to commit or anything, he gave me another turn, and in the other turn, I full comboed him, but this like took a while. I won game 1, we had only 6 minutes on the clock, we side, and during his combo, he sends Resonator in grave, the red Resonator card. Point being that he will revive it on his turn and get life points. In my hand, I had Super Poly and Shuffler, and I'm like, I'm fine. You know, it doesn't matter. I still win this. And in 5 cards, when he activated Chimera in the end phase, he ripped my Super Poly out of my hand. And
That's okay, though. Rough days start, but you ended up pulling it out.
round 2 was Purely, round 3 was Lab, round 4 was Mirror, round 5 was Unchained. round 6 was Unchained. In round 6, I was X to 1 in round 6. And from round 6 to top 32, I 2-0'd every matchup I played.
Wow.
And round 7, Brand Chimera. Round 8, it was my only non-meta deck. He was playing Guru with Summon Limit, Steel Drain, Shifter, Dragoon in the deck.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Guru control, disgusting.
Yeah. Round 9, Labyrinth. Round 10, Drangling. Easiest matchup I ever played. Round 11, Purely. Round 12, Mirror. Round 13, Rescues. Round 14, against Dinka, Labyrinth.
Now, going forward, I know that tier is kind of on a timer here. Most people, myself included, believe that this deck is going to get its nuts chopped off post-ban list. Now, let's not worry about that for a second, though. In the current format, if you were going to play this deck again, would there be anything that you would change?
Instead of the Imperms, I would play Beastals.
Okay.
That's one thing I would change. Maybe I would play 2 Beastals, maybe I would play 3. I'm not sure about the ratio. But it would be for sure Beastals, because after, like, if you think about it, if you play against Infernoble, you have to like accept that if you lose dice roll, you will lose game 1, and even if you draw Imperm Super Poly, you will still lose game 1 if you lose the die roll, if they open like a good enough hand. So yeah, definitely Beastals in the main deck. I wouldn't touch the extra deck, and I wouldn't really touch the side deck. The only thing, maybe if you don't play Bestials and you are scared that you will play a lot of Infernoble, maybe you can play Uka, because this was one tech card I was thinking. You can play Uka with like a target. So like if they go connect to Dolphin, you can put you can target something and and stop them from playing. If like Infernoble is such a good deck, and you can do it against Rescues, I guess, with the emergency.
I do have to say this.
Yeah.
I do fear and respect Infernoble. I think it's going to be a serious contender, not just now, but even post whatever ban list comes. I think that deck's going to be scary, man. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I think the deck is really good. Honestly, it's really good when going first. It's interesting when you go second, but it depends. You have to know what you're doing against the deck If it goes second and you know what you're doing against the deck cannot break any board. It has to hand trap you to death.
Right.
But if you don't know what you're doing, it can play second. So I guess study the matchup.
The idea is, yes, exactly. The main takeaway from this, guys, especially if you're going to be a tier player for the few weeks or days that you have left to be one, let me tell you this: know your matchups. I'm sure my friend Dande would agree with that. All right, my friend. Well, thank you so much for coming on the channel. Anything else you want to say before we close it out?
No. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be here, and hope you have a good day, dude.
Thank you, my friend. You as well. That's everything, guys. Logan JYA signing off. Have a great day. We'll see you beautiful people later next time. Peace.